This summer's transfer window officially closes this Friday at 11 p.m. And boy, do we have some massive, shocking, surprising stories to get through today involving the latest on our efforts to sign a new striker plus a ton of club news. So my friends, let's not waste no more time. You know what to do, hit that like button, share your thoughts and opinions, and let's get straight into things. This morning, we've announced a new signing as Mike Penders, the Genk goalkeeper, has completed his move to our football club. We've signed him for £17 million. He will sign the contract taking him to 2032, but we've actually deferred his signing to next summer. So we haven't signed him for this summer to then loan him back to Genk. Instead, we are deferring his transfer until next summer. Now, financially, this makes a lot of sense because it means that his transfer cost will then go out for the next financial year on our accounting books, which gives us more flexibility in terms of the business we can get done before deadline day. So let's see what happens. Obviously, he's a massive prospect. He's been seen in the coaching circles to be one of the next elite goalkeepers in the making. The guy's an absolute unit right now. And he's seen as a massive coup alongside players like Anselmino, Kendrick Pires, and Esteval Willian. So let's hope that Mike Penders can follow in the footsteps left before him by Thibaut Courtois. And I'm really interested to see who wins this future goalkeeping race between Selina, with Selina having an amazing start to life with Barnsley, picking up 2 consecutive Man of the Match awards. So in the future, is there a possibility that both of them could be fighting it out to be the #1 Chelsea keeper? Who knows? Let's see what happens, but regardless, welcome to Chelsea Football Club, Mike Penders, and let's hope he has a massive season with Genk. But my friends, before I move on, today the club have released their punk, rockstar-inspired third kit for this season that you can officially buy right now. If you guys are loving the look, as I know that the black kit was seen as the most popular kit that was set to be released, get it right now before yours sells out. I've secured mine. I'm hoping it comes within the next 2 days, and I'm really excited to put it on and wear it in videos. My friends, if you guys want to get it for yourself right now, and if you want to help support the channel too, use my affiliate links in the card above, description below, and don't forget to use Nini10 at checkout to get 10% off your final order. So now, I think it's time that we tackle the big developing stories around strikers, because we are set to sign a striker before this window ends, and currently there are 3 names on the list: Victor Osimhen, Ivan Toney, and Calvert Lewin. So I'm going to go through all the information player by player, starting first with Victor Osimhen. Right now, Napoli have accepted Al Ahly's €65 million bid for Victor Osimhen. That's around £55 million, and it's crazy to think that Napoli have slashed Victor's valuation by more than 50% as the window closes. Currently, Osimhen is biding his time. Now, if Al Ahly offer Victor incredible money, like stupid money, I mean, he's already earning a lot of money, they'd have to really eclipse what he's currently earning, as well as providing him a release clause in his deal too, Victor and his team may turn to Al Ahly as the backup option for right now, because they see it as a short-term club to play for where you earn, life-changing money. You stay there for 1 to 2 years before coming back to Europe, and if he does that, he'll be coming back still in his peak prime years. We're learning that Paris Saint-Germain won't be making a move for Victor. Doesn't make any sense. They've really strengthened in many attacking positions. Bradley Barcola and others are really showing what they're about. Yes, Ramos is injured for the next few months, but they have tons of players in attack at their disposal, so it makes no sense for Victor, which I guess works in our favour because that's one less interested party that could potentially affect our grand schemings to try and sign Osimhen. Now, some reports have suggested that Victor has rejected our loan approach. Of course, he is very much against this. Yet, there are still a few more days left until an agreement gets finalised. And who knows if Victor eventually changes his mind on a loan move, as well as we provide some, guarantees that this will become a permanent move. Whilst on the other hand, what if we change our minds once we figure out solutions for players like Ben, Raheem, and a few others to free up more space in our wage bill? As I've been saying, if you go for Victor, essentially you see him as the main man to guarantee us Champions League football. We can't afford another season without CL football because of the financial costs and impacts. We need to get Champions League football now, and I think this is why Osimhen is still seen as the number one for now. Now, his agent came out recently on social media to release a statement that Victor still has a lot much to do in Europe still. So Victor is very reluctant to move to Saudi Arabia and will only do that if that is his last resort option. So why not set yourself up for an incredible future with the money you can earn there? In the meantime, Victor very much still wants to sign for us, so we wait to see what type of agreement that we find between them. This now leads on very nicely to the next breaking story this afternoon, as we have made fresh attempts and efforts to sign Ivan Toney. Now, I'll discuss the news, and this will all start to make a bit of sense once I've got through it. But right now, we go back to Al Ahly because currently they've also been looking to find a replacement for Osimhen if they aren't able to sign him. And recently, they've agreed personal terms with Ivan Toney. If Ivan Toney was to sign for them, he'd be earning 60 million over the next 3 years, which is ridiculous money. The only thing that's stopping that deal right now is Al Ahly finding the final fee with Brentford. They recently had a 35 million plus add-on move turned down. They're coming back again with a 42 million effort plus add-on move, but Brentford are remaining adamant that if Ivan Toney leaves, they want 50 million pounds. Now, Toney has 1 year left on his deal. Brentford have replaced him with their record signing an Eagle, but unfortunately he's out for the next few months with injury. So let's see what happens, but they've accepted that Ivan Toney will be leaving. Now, for myself, in my own opinion, could we potentially strike a deal maybe that includes maybe Osimhen Broja going to Brentford to be that replacement, allowing Toney to come to us for a fee less than the 50 million. But maybe we could afford to pay the 50 million because Brentford are then buying a player from us that accounts as pure profit. If we sold him for 25 million, that would easily cover Ivan Toney's entire fee and wages, and Toney naturally is seen as the backup to Osimhen if Osimhen can't be signed because his wages fit our wage bill, and it would be a very easy move for Ivan Toney as he gets to remain in the city. So let's see what happens there. Ivan Toney has said that if Al Ahly do reach an agreement with Brentford, he will honour the deal, but he's also a little reluctant. He is biding his time, waiting for European clubs to come in to try and make a move. If nothing happens or materializes, he has his backup option guaranteed in Al Ahly, where he will earn incredible money and play in a pretty exciting league. So don't you think it's funny that we have both our eggs in the Toney and Osimhen basket? Because obviously, whoever we fail to land, we will sign the alternative. Toney comes with Premier League experience. Of course, he can lead the line, he can hold the ball up. He is a good player. Expert pen taker. I've always liked Toney because right now he attempts out the audacious efforts too. Been out for a long time, but there's still a lot more to come from him, and we got glimpses of his talents in this summer's Euros. So if he came for around less than 50 million on pretty decent wages, that could be an interesting player to turn to in my opinion. On the other hand, Osimhen is still Mr. Number One, but we will only sign him on terms that we find that match him. If we can't do that, we have our alternative secured in Ivan Toney, and if for some reason we fell for both Osimhen and Toney before this window ends, I guess we end things on the final striker that we are linked to, and that is Calvert Lewin. Yet again, reports have emerged that we are showing interest in the experienced target man, and essentially Everton really like Broja, but they are unable to make a move for him based on their finances, and they would have to sell Calvert Lewin first. Now obviously it makes sense because Calvert Lewin would count as pure profit on Everton's books, which frees up more flexibility when it comes to bringing in other players. So you could see that deal working out for both clubs because we received pure profit for Broja's sell and Everton received pure profit for Calvert Lewin's sell. Now I don't think he's the main favourite, of course, but listen, if he was like the backup guy that we had to turn to that brings more of an aerial capability to the squad, not the team but the squad, maybe he could be that responsible signing, right? Because think about it like this, final 20 minutes of a game, we want like a different alternative to play through teams. We want to play direct, we want to play long. You bring on Calvert Lewin, you can combine with the other players there who offers that aerial threat, which allows us to play more crosses inside the box, and maybe you bag yourself an additional 5+ goals a season, which could be a massive difference maker in securing your objectives. So my friends, that's all the latest involving striker news. Let us know in the comment section what striker you like to see us sign. Let us know below. And now we end things with massive club news. We turn to Lukaku, and right now, the move to Napoli has been greenlit. Lukaku has been authorized now to travel to Napoli to complete his medical and put pen to paper on his 3-year deal. Final fee is 30 million euros plus add-ons, with those add-ons believed to either be 15 million euros on top or maybe a sell-on clause. Time will tell, we'll find out how it goes, but obviously it's good that we get him off our wage bill. We're freeing up the wage bill now to try to make a last-minute attempt to bring in a superstar. Let's see how that goes. Good luck to Lukaku. As I said, I got no qualms against this guy, but now let's move on to other stories. We now talk Raheem Sterling, because currently he has been locked in talks with the club to figure out his contract situation. He's on 325k a week, that's around 17 million a year. For the next 3 years, that's around 51 million pounds. He wants clarity to figure out how his remaining years in his contract are set to get paid out. Because obviously, if he was to leave, he has to take a massive wage cut. But then equally, he feels a bit aggrieved with the football club. Why? Because of the very poor communication around his career this summer. And I think that is very fair. And let's put ourselves in his shoes. Number one, he's been a very positive influence for our young squad. Number two, he played big roles in persuading Tosin to reject Newcastle to sign for us. He also put in work to persuade Cole Palmer to sign for us when Cole Palmer initially had a few reservations based on how stacked we looked in attack. On top of that as well, he's been taking part in clubs' marketing campaigns this summer, and this preseason, he played in every single game, but only like less than 2 weeks ago, Bereska said that Sterling was a key player. So it's obvious the club now are forcing Sterling out. They're doing it in a very aggressive manner, and I sympathize because we should have kept it real with this guy and told him before the window started, listen, we don't see you in our future plans. You now have plenty of time now to secure your future, find what's best for you, we respect what you did, and let's make things amicable. So I can see why Sterling isn't happy, hence why now he wants to go. He's currently not even training in Cobham, he's training back at home, but currently he is waiting for opportunities. We now quickly turn to Sancho, because United and Chelsea could possibly be open to a Sancho-Sterling deal where Sterling is open to moving to Man United, a club that he actually supported since he was a kid. There's an opportunity there. But then for us to get Sancho would have to take a massive wage cut, and who knows if he accepts that or not. But obviously, with him not having many options left, and Dortmund not being able to afford to sign him, and he already took a massive wage cut to go back to them, I feel like something could be there if that's the case. But then equally you think to yourself, yes, Sterling goes, but wow, we are looking very stacked in attack if you're adding Jadon Sancho and another striker alongside Madueke, Neto, Palmer, and Nkunku, Felix, and all these men. So let's see what happens there. More news as Kepa now has agreed to go to Bournemouth on loan for the season. Before that was accepted though, he had to sign a 1-year extension first, which makes sense. The major breakthrough came this Sunday, which pushed this deal forward, and hopefully, in my opinion, I hope he allowed Kepa to play against us, because I'm not really worried about what he can bring. And to be fair with you, I've always thought it's a bit mad and a bit unfair competition-wise that Premier League clubs produce these gentlemen's agreements which basically stop loan players playing against the parent club, when this never happens with any club in Europe. I don't know why this is an exception here. Hopefully we let him play against us, because I don't know what to expect from him, not gonna lie. But anyway, good luck to Kepa. But another player we are set to say goodbye to is Tino Anjorin, as Anjorin now is set to sign for Empoli. The fees believed to be around 1 million to 2 million euros, but there is a massive 50% sell-on clause attached, which tells you everything about the club banking on his future, because the fee's injury-free, and that's been the only thing that's been stopping this guy's career, is the injuries, because the talent is there. If he can find that fitness, this guy could blow up for Empoli, and he could easily leave them for like 3, 4, 5 times that value. And I think we're banking on him hopefully regaining his form as well. So good luck to Tino Anjorin. Honestly, I always thought he could have like that Emil Smith-Rowe impact, where if he was fit, he'd be playing for like a mid-table Premier League club in my opinion. But to move on, my friends, we discussed the future surrounding Carly Chukwuemeka, as the club now are open to a sale if the right offers come in. Crystal Palace are showing interest, but 20 million is as far as they'll go. Let's see if other clubs make a move. He's had a lot of interest from international clubs. To be honest, the moment we signed Keenan Dewsbury Hall, that killed his move. And to be honest, I think we only signed Dewsbury Hall in a similar deal as to how we signed Joao Felix by, letting Atleti sign Gallagher so we could then buy Joao Felix. I think that a lot of Prem clubs were striking PSR deals because we know that Leicester City had PSR concerns going into this season. So they've earned 40 million in pure profit from the sales of Maresca as well as Keenan Dewsbury Hall. And I think that's one of the reasons why we signed him so Maresca could come through, hence why we are sacrificing Carney Chukwuemeka. If you see it this way, Kendry Pires is set to join us next summer, and imagine if he was part of the squad right now. Would there be much space for Chukwuemeka? Is that how the club's seeing things? Maybe. I still think it's very harsh because Khan's future can't be over because of an injury against his will. I mean, it was a contact knee injury against West Ham. That could get any player, right? Pochettino clearly believed in him, hence why he always got opportunities, and he did demonstrate what he could bring. He would have easily fit this role position, but it seems like his career is being sacrificed here based on things that's above and beyond him, based on some of the transfer business and strategies we were forced into to try and make this grand scheme come to life. So let's see if Carney gets a permanent move, and if it was that case, I'd imagine he'd leave for less than his release clause with a massive sell-on clause or potentially first option or buyback fee. Let's see how it goes. And for the final surprise story, Saudi club Al Ettifaq are in open source to sign Harvey Vale. The price is believed to be around £400,000 to £800,000 including add-ons, and Steven Gerrard, the manager of Al Ettifaq, is the one pushing for this move. Let's see what happens. Harvey could earn incredible money going to Saudi Arabia, but at this stage of his career, is going to Saudi what's best for him? Time will tell, because Harvey will have to decide whether he wants to accept the move or not now. Now, you could argue, or here's how I see it being the football nerd I am. I see him as like a poor man's Ferdy Kardoglu because he can play in any position, wing back, down either flank, as an attacking mid, in midfield, even as a fullback. So I can see why maybe Steven Gerrard sees use for the player. Hopefully Harvey Vale can have a decent career. I want all my Cobham grads to have good careers. Let's see how things go. And my friends, on that note, that is all the news currently this afternoon. And I'm sure there's going to be more news intensifying as this day goes on. So I'm going to see you guys again, most likely very soon. And I have a very surprise collaboration, which I'm sure you guys are going to be very excited to see coming in the next few days. So stay tuned for that. And my guys and girls and everyone else on that note, I'm Nini FC. This is Blue Lions TV. See you all soon.